Hey geeks, welcome to another edition of Geek Culture Unboxing. I am Lou and this is Diego.
Ta-da.
And we are ready to unbox Imaginarium's Legacy Scale Jazz. And so first off, we're going to show you the exterior packaging, but we want to make a note on the brown shipper packaging.
Yes.
So it is packed very well in the brown shipper, but the brown shipper actually had plastic on each one of the corners. So Imaginarium took the extra precaution to ensure the brown shipper arrived to you in the least amount of damage possible. Plus, we ordered from Big Bad Toy Store.
Exactly.
And it was inside of another brown shipper. So there was two brown shippers before you even get to the
bubble
jewel.
wrap too.
Bubble wrap.
Yeah.
Before you even get to the gem inside. So great job, Imaginarium. Great job, Big Bad Toy Store. So talk about the box, Diego.
Well, again, I do like the black and white. Lewis prefers that it be in color. I think it just gives it a different feel from what the original big
The larger scale.
Yeah, larger scales, and I guess it's more. This kind of reminds me of that Silver Streak. What Takara came out with, the masterpiece. So it kind of gives it that feel. It's sleek. I like the black and white. That black and silver. I like that. Again, it's not being biased because we're in San Antonio, Spurs fan. But it gives it that sleek look. I like that.
It is a very nice box.
Yeah.
It's a four-sided box, so you got the Autobot symbol on that side. You're gonna have Transformers, the Legacy of Cybertron on the top. You got another Autobot symbol on this side. But one of the reasons we were doing a 360 on the box is we wanted to show you.
Again, the power strip. You always get that power strip, and then not only that, you do always get, I guess, the synopsis or his little story.
The power strip is just calls back to the 80s Transformers fans because it reminds you of the G1 packaging where you had the little strip that you had to put on there that actually showed you what their strength and power and knowledge was. So it's just a great touch that Imaginarium has done with their packaging.
Yeah, exactly. And it brings back everyone who is a Transformers fan, a Transformers lover. Just that piece of childhood. Like, oh my God, they got that. So a good touch.
Very nice touch.
Yes.
So that is the interior packaging. We're gonna pause now. We're gonna give you some still shots of the item as it sits inside that.
Yes.
Then we'll do a 360 of Jazz himself, and then we'll get into the review of the overall figure. Stay tuned.
More than meets the eye. Autobots wage their battle to destroy the evil forces of the Decepticons, the Transformers. Autobots in the skies. The Transformers. More than meets the eye. The Transformers.
All right, so here we are back with Jazz, Imaginarium's Legacy of Cybertron scale. Diego,
I love it. I love it. I thought it was gonna be smaller. I was actually looking at being. I thought it was gonna be disappointed. Let's put it that way. And then all of a sudden, when we were taking it out of its package, it just the color, the pops. I love the windows. Again, cartoon. How the cartoon looks. I love it. However, is this accurate? No, it's not. Again, if you're a Transformer lover and a Jazz lover, which I am because he was my very first Transformer I ever got, the doors. Again, he never had the doors swinging out. But if you want, you can take out those doors, and we'll get to that in a little bit.
Yeah, we'll touch on that.
But it's what I love about it is the size of it. It's not it's not gigantic. It's actually a good. It's a good size where you can actually put it on like what we have displayed here, or if not, if you have a desk at work, You can probably put that on your desk at work, and people will be in awe of this one.
And unfortunately, I didn't bring the ruler with me. It's about 12 inches, maybe a little bit over with the doors, 14 with the doors. The base is about 10 inches in diameter.
Yes.
It would weigh maybe, 10 pounds?
Somewhere on there.
Maybe about 10 pounds.
Maybe about 10 pounds.
The paint on it is very nice. Diego likes the windows. I like the windows, but I like the white paint with the pinstripes on the car. Man, that looks nice. Very sharp.
And the grappling hook, it's wire. It's not, it's not some cheap plastic. I mean, it's wire. I love it.
And so you were saying for the size, so at 12 inches for just over $400, you're good with that?
For the detail, yes.
Well, it's Imaginarium.
Yeah. For the detail, because again, the base, you could tell it's Cybertron. You could tell it's from Cybertron, and all the little details that from the Imaginarium puts in, I'm good with it. I think it's good. Their quality of work, their detail. But then not only that, the number that I got, I was like, oh my God, you and I both salivated. Yeah. We're like, once we saw the number, we're like, oh dear Lord.
You can tell we collect a lot. If you've seen us at the shows, if you've watched our webcasts and our reviews, we have quite a few statues. You don't even want to know what we have in boxes that isn't displayed.
Yeah.
But out of all of those, I would probably be the one of the two of us. I have a lot of artist proof. I don't collect artist proof. I just happen to come upon them when I receive my stuff, and it's cool that I have them. I'm not a numbers guy, but rarely have we received a number 3 of, I think it was 500, right?
500, yes. Number 3. When Lewis took it out, he was like, hey, look, it's number 3. I was like, what? Oh my dear Lord.
Yeah, so it's rare when we get a low number like that. You as collectors will know that, it's hard to get within the first 10 produced or even an artist proof.
Yes.
And to get a number 3, it was a good pull.
Yeah.
It was like finding that golden age comic in a comic box at the dollar store. Like, oh, dude, I just found.
But I remember when I ordered it. I remember it was on pre-order. I said, oh, I'm getting it. Cool. Didn't think nothing of it. I said, I'll probably get like, number 40, like I always do, or number 64, somewhere on there. But I never thought in my wildest dreams I'd get number 3.
And the wild thing is we have a She-Ra review coming up, the Sideshow one, right? Mm-hmm. And when it came in and I took it out of the brown shipper box from Big Bad Toy Store, it was number 30 or 40. And I was impressed. I was like, oh, wow, I got a decently low number. So, hey, maybe you should go to Big Bad Toy Store. I'm not saying that they do get low numbers, but this is the second low number that we've gotten from Big Bad Toy Store. So there's a reason for us to go there.
Well, let's talk about the piece.
Yeah.
So when, again, the packaging is beautiful. When you get it, it's felt. It's felt. And now, again, there's a total of 16 pieces. No instructions. That's where, if anything.
Usually they have instructions.
Yeah, usually they have instructions, but because we have to figure out 2 pieces. Everything else is pretty self-explanatory. But it's in regards to these 2 pieces right here.
The wheel wells.
Yeah, the wheel wells.
For the front wheels?
Yeah, the front wheels.
We were holding them like, hey, where do these go? And then we had to look up a picture online and we saw, we're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, so if you take a look at it right here, our camera woman, it goes in right there. Yeah,
you have to take, before you put the arm on, you put the wheel well piece in and then you slide the arm on.
We're having a little bit of an issue, but we figured it out.
Yeah. Everything else is pretty easy to figure out. But let's talk about that felt, Diego.
Yes.
So I love, we know Imaginarium personally. We talk to the owners, occasionally. They watch our reviews, so I feel like they were listening. But they added a nice little feature to their interior shipping package, and that was the felt that you see in that still photo. So they put a piece of felt over the styrofoam, and it just gives it a nicer presentation.
You know what? It kind of gives you that almost like that Galleria,
or regal.
That regal or that Galleria. Like, okay, I'm pulling out a piece here,
an exhibit piece.
Exhibit piece, and you know what? Everything was just nice and snug. Beautiful.
Wow. Let's tell you how snug that was. Everything else was easy to get out of the packaging, but gee whiz, that base was tight. We're pulling at it. Both of us are like, how do we get this thing out of here?
And it felt like I go, we don't want to break it. We don't want to break it, but you have to angle it. So if you ever get this piece and you haven't not opened it yet, or if you decide to get this piece, work with it. Work with it, and eventually it does come out.
You got to shimmy it out of the packaging.
Just because of the felt packaging.
But that's good, you know. Again, you have the styrofoam insert, which is very thick, very sturdy, so that's going to protect your piece. You've got the interior shipping box. You've got the brown exterior shipping box with the plastic corners. And then again, if you order from Big Bad Toy Store, you get another brown exterior shipping box with bubble wrap padding. So your item arrives to you
it
pristine.
Was pristine, almost. Well, you know, again, depending what kind of carrier.
Travel, UPS, FedEx, DHL.
Yeah, but you know, oh my God! Now I'm just in awe of this piece. It's great paint, great work, great detail. Now again, you know, like we'll get into it. Before we go in, before we remove the doors, let's talk about the peg. Remember the peg?
Oh, the peg? Well, we took a still photo.
Yeah, we took a still photo. Okay, we just broke a Kirby. All right,
you have to give them a little more than that. They're gonna be like, "What do you mean broke a Kirby?"
Okay, you know, we had a deconstruction video. If you have not seen it,
it's on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, it's gonna be on our YouTube channel. Okay, well, we ended up breaking a Kirby because the thing is, it was a defect, or what would you call it?
Yeah, it was a defect. Yeah, it was you know, the engineering, the weight of Kirby. He was so much resin that he caused the flame to warp.
Yeah.
And so as we were deconstructing it, Diego made the recommendation that maybe 2 pegs would have been better to stabilize the flame for Kirby.
Yeah.
And so what he's trying to note on the jazz statue, in the steel photo we showed you, it's about 2.5 inches of a peg in the foot.
Yes.
We don't anticipate this thing taking much of a lean.
You know, taking much of a dip. You know, but again, the peg will probably fit all. You know, it looks like it's that thick.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it actually fits in there. It's going to stabilize it, and that's what collectors want. That way, you know what, you buy the piece once, and you're done.
Yeah, we want to know that we invested $400, and that in 10 years, it's still going to look as wonderful without any issues as it does today. Mm-hmm. So, and we'll be keeping an eye on that because we had somebody else comment on one of our other reviews about it having die cast and plastic mix, and we said, you know what, in 10 years, we'll come back and look at that piece. If it's still in good shape, then we know it's quality.
Yeah, it's quality, yeah. You know, but again, if what's so good about this piece, again, if you're, you know, if you're part of that generation, you know, if you're part of that generation which you like jazz without the doors, that's fine. But however, just be mindful is that you're gonna have these 2 open, and if you could come up here, is that you're gonna have these 2 open holes.
But you can't really see them. Here, we'll turn it back so the camera woman can get a. I see them. Yeah,
you'll see them. But again, you know, if they ever made a figure, but he does look cool with the doors. You know, it's that mixture between the toy and the cartoon.
See, and again, we've said that in previous reviews and previous webcasts. Right now, there are, I think, 3. I don't think there's any more. Pop Culture Shock is making G1 with cell shading, which are really cool. You got Prime. Oh, well, there are 4. You've got Prime 1 making Transformer statues. They were the leading edge on that. Now you have XM Studios making Transformers G1, and then you have Imaginarium. But out of all 4 of those, we like Imaginarium. The detail, the quality, the price range, the size. They've got 2 scales. They've got the large scale, which is Soundwave and Rodimus, and then they've got the Legacy of Cybertron series.
And you know what? And after seeing this piece, I may revert. And I got one more piece coming in.
I
got 2 more. I got Thundercracker, the Legacy piece, and I got Starscream. You know, more the bigger one, like the standard edition.
But you didn't order all the Seekers in Legacy scale?
No. And now that I see it, I may do that. I mean, again, this was my test run right here, and I'm loving it. It's actually a beautiful size. I never saw myself going into the 12-inch, I guess, statues, but after seeing it and the detail in it, I'm rethinking it.
I would be surprised if you told me that you took this and put it on your desk at work. I would be like, wow.
No. This one's staying at home.
Okay.
I'm not taking it. But again, for those who have maybe private offices, you may want to do that. Or you know what? If you have in your office where you can actually buy maybe an IKEA,
or a cabinet.
A cabinet, which the glass case. If you're able to go to IKEA and you can actually put it in your office, this is a wonderful piece. It's, you know what? I believe it's a talking piece. You're like,
A
oh my god,
conversation
yeah,
started,
the conversation started. Like, wow,
Is that jazz? Is that G1 jazz?
Yes.
And then always remember to say Imaginarium, because
Yes.
again, we gave you the other ones that are producing it, and we look forward to the future of having PCS's shelf shading so we can show you. I'm working towards getting the XM ones because I want to show you the size, scale, and the difference in the presentation of it, the style of it.
Yeah.
You know, XM went for a different style. It's not a bad thing. That's their own style. And then, of course, you know, we've shown you Prime 1 before. So we want to show the culture, the different versions that are out there so that you can make an informed decision.
Yeah, you make an informed decision on which one you want. You know what? I want to go with, you know what? And just don't stick to one. You know, like I'm always Sideshow or I'm always PC, you know, Pop Culture Shock or you know what? We collect everything.
Yes.
Because, you know what? We're fans of, you know, great artwork. We're fans of, again, our childhood. And whatever I see that gives us the best, you know, image of my
Quality
childhood,
and price for
price, you know, my childhood, you know, and I just, and again, going back to the jazz, I love that, you know, I love
visor.
the visor. You know what? I think it's, you know, it's a beautiful piece, Imaginarium. Great work, great job on it. Again, and it does come with the grappling hook,
Which we showed you in the 360. I'll take this off.
And if you don't want the grappling hook, you can actually put his gun. You know, if I'm gonna nitpick, I'm gonna nitpick on the gun. You know, remember in the toy version is all black. Even I believe the cartoon, if I'm right, you know, it's all black. You know, I'm not sure on that one. It's
been a while.
It's been a while, but remember it was all black.
But you know, the great
Yeah,
thing,
but-
the last thing I'd like to close on with Imaginarium is rarely do we ever find a paint issue. You know, different manufacturers have different issues here and there, but Imaginarium really takes the effort and they go over their pieces and they make sure, you know, there's no paint issues, there's no chipping, there's no other issues. The windows, you know, I saw a fingerprint, but that was an easy wipe off. There was no issue for me to be like, hey, you know what, I don't like the way it is. But because you take note, Imaginarium, I would recommend this. Maybe for future figures that have windows like that, having it with a plastic film when it leaves the factory that I can peel off.
You peel off so that way it looks, you know, it gives it that glass look, right?
Yep.
You know, it just gives you that reflective. But overall, great job, great piece. I'm loving it. I am loving it.
Well, Diego said,
Yeah.
for me, for the price for $400, it's a little much. I would like it to be $350. I know Diego's okay with it, but you know, if you've been paying attention to collectibles and the statue collectibles, the price is just going up. You know, now $1,000, $1,200 is the norm, and you know, not a lot of collectors can afford that. And we at the Culture are all about all of the collectors out there, or all the fans who want to be collectors. We meet a lot of fans that would like to collect, but they don't have the space, or they don't have the funds, or you know, or other things.
Yeah.
And
well, you know, again, I would prefer 300.
Yeah.
Yes, I would prefer 300, but I'm happy with 400. But the thing is, you know what? If you want more collectors to collect this, you may want to drop the price.
Lower the price.
Yeah, lower the price. Maybe just that $100, and man,
all 500 units will sell out like that.
like that. Yes.
Yep.
You know, 400. You got people thinking. I had to contemplate it, and I said, okay, you know what? For jazz, I'll do that.
And you heard him here. He said,
Yes.
you know, you have that other seeker on order. Sorry,
Yes.
but once you've seen this, you're like, all right, I'm gonna have to go back and order Thundercracker
Yeah.
and Starscream.
I'm rethinking. Maybe I have to cancel my larger edition of Starscream, but I'm like, no, I can't.
No, don't cancel it. You have it. We'll have it, and we'll put it at the booth. If you decide that you like the Legacy better than the large scale,
Yeah.
some other lucky collector can get it from Geek Culture when you see us at Alamo City Comic Con.
But again, this piece has got me thinking about the legacy line now.
Well, I'll end with that. So the reason that I'm interested in the Legacy line is I love that Imaginarium is doing all the Autobots and the Decepticons in this scale, but they're giving us the combiner, Devastator, and he's supposed to be huge. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Well, you know how do you know how large? Because I don't.
It's been a while since I've seen the image, you know, and it's in the metric system. So I want to say it was like 40 or 50 in the centimeters or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't remember. It's been a while. Sorry, but it's going to be huge. It should be almost in scale with Jazz. So if Jazz was going up against Devastator, it should be almost in that scale. And I'm really looking forward to that because that would be a centerpiece. And hopefully we will be able to present that to you geeks at one of the shows that we attend. We're going to work towards that. No promises. But for this edition of Geek Culture Unboxing, we'll see you geeks.